Good afternoon from New York. We have many perspectives and personalities. Healing the mind integrates them into the ongoing functional illusion of I and its drama. That's what I'm going to try to talk about today. Give me kudos because I'm trying to do this without a degree in neurology and not a genius like Neil deGrasse Tyson and many others. But maybe I might understand things on the same level you are. So maybe I have a way of talking about things that we can get, you and I. All right? And do fact check all the time. My understanding of the studies that have gone on so far is that we are, in fact, having many perspectives and potential personalities. Trauma, by the way, can get in the way of our connection to our real needs, which can cause a problem with the integration of these into a singular personality or the illusion of such. There isn't an I which is the same all your life. That's an illusion. People will say, here you are as a baby. Really? Here's a baby, and from this you grew. You grew to be you. A lot of it, might be who you were going to be, might have been determined by genetics or epigenetics or hormonal structuring of the brain. But, a lot of it's nature as well, And what goes on in nature, it seems, has a big impact on epigenetics, perhaps. At least that's my understanding. Again, fact check. But this is the view of many mystics and the view of the Buddha, for what that's worth. And that was the whole preaching of Buddha, was to have liberation, you need to get rid of this illusion that there was an ongoing, unchanging, same reality, which is you. Well, I would say that, we don't know that there isn't some element that might be the same, but I think that would be a far-fetched conclusion and no evidence for it at all. So that's what the Buddha said. He says, I didn't find that when I was meditating. I didn't find that at all. He was a very objective meditator. Some people just relax and reinforce their illusions, in the meditation, repeating a religious phrase over and over and over again. But, yeah. So, we are a little bit brainwashed to begin with. Should have put that in the title, maybe. Brainwashed by our conditioning, and perhaps by what it takes genetically to be a human. things that we don't see because it's not important. It wasn't important to our survival in our evolution to human. And I say our evolution into human. Yeah. The evolution into human. Yeah. See how that slips in there, Our evolution. That's kind of like a big I, isn't it? Other big I's that exist are the total identification with where you live. I'm a Frenchman, I'm an Englishman, and you might add born and raised if that were the fact. And I'm an American. That's a funny phrase. More factual one might be if you're in North America, you're a North American, and if you're in South America, you're a South American. And of course, this name America came from the last name, I believe, of a European who I don't know if he's original. Fact check, look it up. Whether he was an early map maker or I think he might have been. But check on that. It'd be an interesting study. This is a channel for thinkers. If you don't want to think, if you want to just be brainwashed, this is not the channel for you. If you want to believe everything I say without doubt, this is not the channel for you. If you can't doubt the most cherished belief that you have, you're not a thinker. Give it up. You're not a thinker. And when you choose to be, it can be uncomfortable. But yeah, it's part of growing, isn't it? Part of growing. There's no faith without doubt is like a car with a gas pedal and no brakes, no way to slow down. Something in the middle. That's not a good thing. And if you're only good because you're scared not to be, how good are you really? But how good you are might be related to the empathy, the forms of empathy that you use in your communication within yourself and with other people. Empathy meaning it's a language development. Raw empathy is one baby cries and they all cry. And that's, or some people might call that sympathy. But empathy is more developed. It's, or the kinds that I talk about. It's ways of loving with understanding and a kind of sympathy, in fact, for how someone is feeling, but adding to that some understanding that this is actually another person, and forms of empathy, ways of loving, and I call those ways creative, looking at things from different perspectives, helping and loving yourself and others with that perspective, with the perspective of objectivity, which, inside your own mind, you are your own counselor. If you're going to see a counselor of any kind, you are, tapping into objective empathy. Because even if it's a lawyer that, they supposedly care about what happens to you. So there's a lot, but it's objective. And compassionate, which means you communicate in a way that helps people to feel safe to feel and to tell their story. And and these things evolved, as I've said before in the channel, these things evolved from three basic abilities we had before we ever had a self-concept. Ask a baby, who are you? It's just going to keep babbling and reacting. It has no sense of that, in any language, in any truly. It doesn't comprehend at any intellectual level any sense of self. It's just instinctive self-preservation and need that is, in many cases for a child or a baby, these are developmental needs, and that goes all the way back to the womb. So, I guess what you're wondering about is I talk about healing the mind being an integration of these perspectives. Well, integrating all of these different perspectives, which I say are at least these six, which is focus, which develops into objective empathy, expression, a feeling, which develops into the compassionate empathy, or the way to encourage that expression, and play, which develops into the ability to create play, to have many different perspectives. So, integrating these different perspectives, I find it useful to create a kind of mythology, calling the imaginer of all you imagine, the part of you that is creatively empathetic with you and others. I call that your inner artist. Your objective empathy, expression, I call that your inner counselor. And your compassionate empathy, I call that your inner caregiver. And as you integrate, and then integrate your ability to focus, to play, and to express feelings and emotions that have no words for you, going into a space in your mind which you call the infant mind. And you're not really going there, you can't, but you're being aware of it, and you get these certain kinds of symptoms when you attach to your infant mind, and those might be, I'm one with the universe, hey, wow, I don't exactly exist. You see through the illusion of the eye, because your experience when you didn't have an ego concept. You could be anything is another thing that springs from this. In which case, it's a playful kind of enlightenment where you could be anybody. That's one symptom. Compassionate sense give you the illusion that I'm everybody. I'm one with everything. There's a joke about that where, the monks come in and ask for some food item and says, make me one with everything. Then there's the objective, which is a flavoring of that infant mind experience that tells you, hey, I don't have this I, this self that's unchanging, so it doesn't exist. But don't let that go to your head. That's not final enlightenment. I like to say it's you're experiencing symptoms of a perspective. But all of these perspectives, which are forms of empathy, creative, objective, and compassionate, and non self-concept experiences, non-language experiences of focus, play, and expression. These are ways of integrating your many perspectives. The more you use all of these together, the more integrated you're becoming. You have to do this gingerly and carefully, in staying within your comfort zone. If at any time you feel highly uncomfortable, well, that's a need for professional care. Okay. If you're exercising and you get sore, your body, exercising, well, get a trainer. Well, which you could do with this other, get a trainer in what I call echo love form of inner mind communication. Get a trainer in that, or get a trauma therapist. Yeah, but if your body's sore, then you back up a little bit and take it easier. If you're starting to have a lot of discomfort, so on, we go up the ladder. We get a physical trainer or a physical therapist in some cases. So use your head, fact check everything. It's exhausting but worth it. This is my opinion here on this channel. There are other opinions that will be coming in as soon as we can get them. And that may be you if you subscribe to the channel. There's also a link at the end that I put on the videos to a site which is a Facebook site. Group in Facebook called Inner Mind Communication, and from there I would be able to train you in this kind of integration that I understand. And you'll be able to more directly communicate to one of the managers of the channel, which is me. There are, at this point, 3 others. We hope to gain more. It's also, when you're talking about healing the mind, you can't leave out any aspect of that healing. A lot of healing of the mind involves healing of society. Social change is a positive social change is a catalyst for personal social change. And personal social change, no matter who you are a catalyst for social change. They interplay, they echo. Echo love. Sometimes I misspeak and I say echo mind. I mean echo love. Echo love form of inner mind communication. So that's the general philosophy of the channel. Is what you send out, what goes around comes around, and that we need more empathy and awareness in society. If you have that opinion, then you're part of the team, and if you want to work with this team, then subscribe to the channel. And if you're looking for healing of the mind, you subscribe to the channel. And I also provide links to YouTube channels with professional therapists, and a link to a site where I believe one of the more advanced forms of trauma therapy exists today. But that's forewarning, that's expensive in terms of time and money. But if you got the time and the money, it would be a good experience, I believe, if that is the right thing for you. And they're careful about that. Anyway, they have professionals and psychiatrists on staff. So yeah, there's a link to that. And if you like any video, share it. If you want the voice of the channel to grow, share it, comment, give your own opinions, and subscribe, comment, and share the videos, if I didn't mention that. Share the individual videos you more or less agree with. That will help. Be sure and comment. That's important. There is a way that we do Zoom calls, which will give you a voice. There are two kinds of voice on our Zoom calls. One is the part that is not recorded or published, and that's where we decide what we're going to talk about. And the next portion is where people that want to be in that recorded session actually do talk about the subject. If you're a professional in any field, please, and you have opinions regarding this, and you are very welcome. And perhaps one of our team members will do a video with you on Zoom. That's our capacity now. If you're an expert in YouTube work, we're open to your help. And so politics and health and so many other areas are important to the channel and to its focus, which might seem a little confusing to people, but it's the application of empathy and awareness in these areas. It might not be telling you who to vote for in some cases, but it would tell you what candidates, to take a good look at candidates and see who's more empathetic and aware. And you can voice your own opinions on the channel, but you have to have that basic understanding. And does that mean this is open to an active Trump supporter? I'm sorry, you're not on our team. And yeah, you're not. You're welcome to watch and learn. And I suggest that you watch Robert Reich's channel, Tennessee Brando's channel, Pardon the Insurrection channel, and the Lincoln Project channel, the Young Turks channel, the Michael Moore channel, the Joe Biden channel. And just check those out and learn from those. The message is there. And Why do we support politics on the channel? Because democracy not only depends on empathy and awareness, but it's a breeding ground. It's a place where empathy and awareness can evolve and exist. The ability to have many perspectives, the ability to have compassionate perspectives and objective perspectives, all something that depends on a democratic system for its better growth and application. Is this a channel for just the United States? No. This is a channel for the world. But some of us are in the United States. So far, all the team members, all of the managers are people in the United States, but we're open to others. And you want to send in videos clearly denoting that it's in another language, as long as we can see a translation of that and that you're a supporter of this philosophy, we will try to publish your video. So that gives an avenue for people who don't have time to do their own channel, and don't want to necessarily work in a channel, or they want to work in a channel but they don't have a lot of time. But they can do a boomer video like I'm doing, or a young person's video, and express these kinds of views. And like I say, as long as you denote the language that you're using, so that when people go to any channel in the Inner Mind Communication channel, any video within the Inner Mind Communication channel, they'll know what language is being presented. Let's work together in love, everybody. Let's try to be more loving, more empathetic, in rational ways, you could say. I call that the path of the mystic. You call it whatever you like. The rational mystic. People who believe in neuroscience and brain research, things like that. But yeah, what else does this channel relate to? Well, experiences that we don't have an understanding of quite yet, but like near-death experiences, things like that. Yeah, it's interesting things can be on the channel that isn't things that aren't necessarily proven, but make sure that there's, you make a denotation between your personal truths and what's fact. Don't claim something's factual when it's more of a personal truth. And I have a way practice, but it's up to the one experiencing it, and further research to say how much on fact it's based. I think it's highly factually based if you do a careful study of it. Much of what you will hear in these practices, these approaches, are all being done and been done for thousands of years. The unique thing that I present is an integration of all these approaches into a single rational theoretical or thesis package and approach. So, yeah, Yeah, I was grasping for a better word and I didn't come up with it. Low IQ, right? Well, genius or super genius or somebody just ordinary like me. Oh, you're all welcome on the channel. And we hope to hear from your voice soon. We like to top off any kind of presentation to about 30 minutes. So this has been 30 minutes. And please leave comments and so forth. Please subscribe. It will really help. And right now we don't ask for donations or anything. So later on there will be a way you can help financially as soon as we figure that out and decide that's what we want to do. Right now it's all volunteer. And you're welcome to be a volunteer. Okay. I like to give you at least part of an Irish blessing that I love to sing at times, but yeah. I'll just give you the first line and you can look up the rest. May the road rise to meet you. Beautiful Irish blessing begins like that. Different versions of it, I think. All about the same. Oh heck, let me torture you with my tune that I put to it. May the road rise to meet you. Ooh, well, that's so off key. I won't go on. Okay, that's enough torture. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or its hand, however you see the source of all love. And let's bring this world together. Carl Sagan, the very notable physicist and mentor of the great Neil deGrasse Tyson. Wow. Who's kind of following in his mentor daddy footsteps, it seems to me. Anyway, he said that we, and as intelligent life, are the universe knowing itself. So approach each one another with wonder and tolerance and compassion as much as possible. Yeah. And stand up for democracy. Fight for it if you have to. And there's a word that means what Carl Sagan said. It's a greeting and a goodbye from India. Namaste.